Number 2, reading aloud your daily text.
文化冲击上集。根据圣地亚哥州立大学的教授的概述，文化冲击有5个阶段。第一阶段是当一切发展顺利或越来越糟前的度蜜月时期。冲击阶段是指一个人面对新的文化时遇到的困难，但当他开始调试后，进入到调试阶段。
Hi everybody and welcome back to the second part of our class. We're going to be doing some reading, but not just quiet reading. We'll be reading aloud. 现在我们要练习我们的阅读的技巧，可是不是安静的念，要很大声的要念出来。然后1时2秒你就可以可以练习你的阅读，还有你的绘画，还有发音的技巧。Now I will read the article aloud first. Listen along, but when I'm finished, it's your turn to read the article aloud. Here we go. Culture shock, part 1. Culture shock occurs when people have to function in a cultural situation which they are not used to. Many people experience culture shock when they go to another country, whether for a visit or to live. It can also be experienced by people who move from a country area to the city, or who start a new job. In her website, Dr. Carmen Guanipia of San Diego State University outlines 5 stages of culture shock. The first stage is described as the honeymoon period. In this stage, people feel excited about the new culture. Everything is new. And they think that the differences between the old and the new situation are interesting. People spend time exploring and learning about the new culture. They feel confident and the future seems bright. The next stage is the shock period. People in this stage start to find that there are problems with the new culture. For example, they may not be able to communicate easily with people from that culture. They may have difficulty finding a job, or they might not know where to shop for food they want to cook. They feel that they don't know what to do or how to behave in different situations. Those in this stage often feel frustrated, lonely, and depressed. They may suffer difficulties with sleeping, such as insomnia or sleeping too much. People in the shock stage think a lot about their family and friends and want to go back to the old culture. The third stage is one of adjustment to the new culture. People start to accept the new culture and to feel a sense of purpose and achievement. They may have successes in getting things done. They are learning to speak the new language, or they have found a job. In this stage, people may make friends with people they have met in the new culture. Life begins to look more positive. That's it for our reading. Not too difficult, but very interesting. It seems that, of course, when people go to a new location, it might be in your own country, from the countryside to the big city, or it might be a new job, but quite often it's when you move to a new country with a different culture and a different language, and you have difficulties adapting. There's one scientist, or one professor at San Diego State University. She mentions there's 5 stages to culture shock. There's the honeymoon period, when you're having a great time. The shock period, when everything seems to be going wrong. And the third stage is an adjustment period, where people start to settle down and they get used to the new culture, language, and they might have found a job or something to do. Now, that's just part one of our article. If you join us next week, next Wednesday, we will have part two, and we can find out what happens in the fourth and fifth stages of culture shock. Now, don't forget to practice this. You can't just read it quietly. You have to read this article aloud so you can practice your English speaking and work on your pronunciation. Now, that's it for this part of the class. Let's go on to the next part.